and gentlemen, the mural dedication is next on the list here. The Scott Joplin Foundation is happy that the Central Business District has taken on this project in recognition of Sedalia's important ragtime heritage. I would like to introduce now Dan Pilliard, President of Central Business Cultural District, who is going to talk about the project and about the artist Stan Hurd. You all are aware we're talking about the mural that's on the wall out here that you can't see right now. But if you want to walk outside the tent later, or maybe you've already looked at it, that is the mural we're talking about right now. Dan Pilliard.
Thank you, Mary. Well, hello. Glad to see you all here. I know you're having a great time, and the weather's holding out, and it's not going to rain on us, so it's looking good.
Well, I think it's great. I hope everybody else does too. Well, the artist is Stan Hurd, and of course he's very much here today, and later is going to present some prints that from the edition that he did to support the financing of this project. And his print is currently on sale at the foundation offices. But what I would like to do is talk a little bit about Stan, talk a little bit about, I guess, how I came to know Stan's work. Is originally I'm from western Kansas, and I suppose maybe 15, 20 years ago, it's been a long time, because I know as I go home and pass through Dodge City, I see these wonderful murals that are all over Dodge City, and of course I've inquired over the years who this artist was, and in the meantime Stan has progressed from being a well-known established mural painter to doing large site-specific environmental projects across the United States and also in other countries. He currently is working on a project, and it's been a kind of exciting thing for us here in Sedalia to see this process going on, because Stan has been juggling between this mural project here in Sedalia and a project for Trump on Manhattan Island. Trump owns about an acre plot of land that is surrounded by skyscrapers, and Stan is in the process of doing a site-specific mural. I don't know exactly what Stan calls these, but he uses actual materials, flowers, grasses, crops, to do configurations of images, and he's actually doing a planting currently in New York City in this 1 acre plot that will be a pastoral scene that you can look down off of these skyscrapers and see this very tranquil kind of scene of a path and a river and trees and such, which will be quite lovely. He's done a lot of commercial projects. He's done an Absolute Vodka project, which I think was one whole section of land. He's done a number of various projects, usually connotating some kind of historical feature or some kind of historical personality, I guess. Maybe Stan will say a little bit about that. So I would like to introduce you now to Stan Hurd. And first, let me ask, is Robert Walters in the audience?
I think we should all get up and dance. The instructors were teaching dance here. For those of you who weren't here, you should stick around. I think they're going to do it again. It's really kind of fun. I hope I have time to take the lesson. This has been, Doug just mentioned that I'm all here, and I wanted to tell you I'm only about half here. My wife and I moved from one house to the other in the last 2 days, and I have been involved in an art project in New York. And when I first was approached to do a mural of Scott Joplin, I have to admit that I didn't know very much about Joplin, and I've really never been what you would call a fan of ragtime, although I've learned in the process of doing this earthwork, or this mural, that my musical understanding is very much tied into the genesis of ragtime and how influential that musical experiment was to what's going on in American music today. The other thing that really struck me, I was reading the Scott Joplin book in New York because I'm doing this project actually with Trump, not for Trump. He's not paid. for the image. I'm doing a 1-acre image up there on ground that he owns. But I was sitting in my hotel room on West 47th Street, trying to soak up New York City after spending every other weekend over in quiet Missouri, and read in the Scott Joplin book that he ended up on West 47th Street with his wife, struggling to get his particular form of art known to the public and to elevate it to some level, and he struggled with that to his dying day. And I realized that maybe I'm following somewhat in his footsteps to try to struggle to put my work there. But I guess what we're going to do here is we're going to offer some prints. I did a serograph, actually a lithograph on stone of Scott Joplin. In the process of studying the figure and studying the man to do this mural, I wanted to do something that was a different image of Scott Joplin rather than just the artist's renderings of known photographs of him. I think there are only 3 or 4 known photographs of Scott Joplin, and I wanted to do something beyond that somehow, and I did a light sketch, and Doug Freed and the committee got together, and this thing was very loose, and they liked this particular sketch, so I adapted that to the mural. We're going to now, I believe, give these prints to a few people, and Doug, you want to come up and mention who they are? And my experience in Sedalia has been really quite wonderful. A lot of people on the streets have stopped, dozens and dozens, and I kind of feel like this is my second hometown. Thank you.
Stan has made an edition of 80 of these original lithographs, and he himself has chosen to give 5 of those, edition 1 through 5, to various organizations and people that were instrumental in making this project happen. And we have here today Jeannie Wright, who represents the Scott Joplin Foundation. She is the president of the Scott Joplin Foundation. And Stan wants to give her one of the prints. And so the Scott Joplin Foundation received the Stan felt that rightfully so that the first print pull should go to the Scott Joplin Foundation as a historical document of this time and this period and his activity here. The number 2 print he has chosen to give to State Fair Community College, which houses the Scott Joplin Archives. And here to receive that print is the Dean of State Fair Community College, Robert Solomon. Stan has given 3 other prints. The 3rd one in addition, he's given to one of the major contributors to this project, Robert Walters. And I announced earlier that Robert was real excited and made me really get involved in it in a very serious way, and so we really do appreciate his support for this. Would you come forward and take Lorraine Walter, the mother of the donor? That's wonderful if you could be here. Then Union Savings Bank is the other major contributor to this project. Is Bob Mason or Mark Mason here? Evidently not. And then I was quite surprised and delighted and feel kind of strange about announcing this, but